Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are tackling a topic that is, well, universal, super friendly, and absolutely essential for connecting with people pretty much anywhere, the weekend.
It really is the great social lubricant, isn't it? Whether you're walking into the office Monday morning or, leaving Friday afternoon, the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, it's probably the single most common topic for just friendly small talk.
Exactly. And you need to know how to navigate that conversation. But maybe more importantly, you need to understand the cultural significance of those 48 protected hours.
Right. So our mission for you, the listener, is to quickly give you the essential conversation skills, the cultural context, and maybe some deeper vocabulary needed to confidently discuss and, manage all your weekend plans.
Okay.
We'll break this down into three main areas. First, we'll look at the basic conversation starters, kind of their social function.
Okay.
Second, we'll jump into the logistics of popular activities. Think movies, making plans, dining out, that sort of thing.
Got it.
And finally, we'll do a true deep dive into the cultural importance of work-life balance. Why the weekend even exists.
Okay, let's unpack this with the basics. Social timing seems key here. The questions really change depending on the day, don't they?
They absolutely do. Let's say it's Thursday or Friday. You're looking ahead, forecasting the future.
Anticipating leisure time.
Exactly. So the number one question you'll probably hear is simply, what are you doing this weekend? Or maybe, do you have any plans for the weekend?
And it's important to stress, this is usually just friendly. It's not like they're demanding your itinerary. It's a social gesture.
Right, precisely. People ask this primarily as a form of positive social interaction. They want to connect, not be nosy. You might even hear a much shorter version like, any plans? Super casual.
Okay, so that's looking forward. What about Monday morning? The vibe changes.
Immediately. The purpose shifts. Now we're reflecting on the past, maybe trying to ease back into the work week.
Yeah, soften the blow.
Right, so the questions become, how was your weekend? Or did you have a good weekend? It's acknowledging that shared experience of rest, trying to start the week on a positive social footing.
Okay, so let's tackle what can feel like the tricky part. Answering when you actually have no formal plans. Sometimes the best weekend is, frankly, doing nothing. How do you say that without sounding dull?
Yeah, that's a good point. You absolutely do not need to invent some wild adventure. In fact, sometimes admitting you have no plans is seen as, healthy self-care.
Okay.
The simplest, most positive response is often just not much, just relaxing.
That sounds perfect. Low effort, positive.
It is. And a great strategy is to immediately politely return the question. I don't have any plans yet. How about you? It puts the conversational ball back in their court, keeps things flowing.
I like that. And there's that great idiom too, right? I'm planning to just take it easy this weekend.
Yes. Take it easy is perfect. It means to relax, to consciously choose not to do too much, just rest.
Okay. Now, what if you do have plans? You mentioned using the epheem form of the verb.
Right. When we talk about fixed social plans for the near future, like the weekend, we naturally use the present continuous. So, I am going to the movies, or I am meeting a friend for lunch.
It sounds more definite, like the plan is set.
Exactly. It signals it's arranged. And remember, weekend plans aren't always glamorous. It's totally normal to mention practical things.
Like chores.
Yeah. Or work. Unfortunately, I have to work on Saturday. It's common. Or I need to catch up on some housework this weekend.
Catch up on it. That's a useful one. What does that mean exactly?
It just means doing something you didn't have time for earlier, clearing a backlog, usually tasks or chores, maybe even emails or reading.
Got it. Okay, that covers the basic chat. But now let's get into the activities themselves. The classic going out plan, the movies. It feels like a specific cultural ritual.
Oh, it really is. So, first step, choosing the film. We assume, everyone knows a comedy from a drama. But the genre choice kind of sets the social tone, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, think about it. If you pick an action movie, lots of explosions, car chases, it's often more acceptable to whisper a reaction, maybe talk about during the loud parts.
Right, the non-plot crucial moments.
Exactly. But if you use a serious drama, any noise is usually frowned upon. It's disruptive.
Good point. Okay, so you choose the movie, then logistics. Checking show times.
Right, the specific start times. You typically look online these days. Find a movie theater or cinema, depending on where you are, and then figure out tickets.
Yes, tickets. There's often a bit of pressure there. You can buy them online in advance.
You can, yeah. That stops you worrying about it being sold out, guarantees your seat. Sometimes you can even pick your specific seat online.
Or you can buy them when you get there.
Yep, at the box office. That's the counter where they sell the tickets. Just be aware tickets can be pretty pricey. maybe $15, sometimes more.
Okay. And that leads to the next almost unavoidable part of the ritual, the concession stand.
Ah, yes. Culturally, buying snacks there feels almost mandatory, even though they're famously expensive.
Why is that? Why pay so much for snacks?
It's all about the sensory experience and, frankly, cultural expectation. The number one snack has to be popcorn.
The smell.
Exactly. The smell of that buttery popcorn is arguably a bigger part of the movie-going experience than the film itself for some people. And the high price, well, that's kind of how the theaters make most of their money. The ticket price often goes mostly to the studios. So you're paying for the ritual, the smell, the whole package.
Fascinating. Paying a premium for the smell of popcorn.
Okay, but that cost often makes people lean towards the other main option, the quiet weekend at home.
Absolutely. And the goal there is usually rest, recovery, recharging. That can look like a lot of things.
Like pure relaxation.
Reading.
Definitely. Reading's a big one. We often use that lovely phrase, I plan to curl up on the sofa with a good book.
Curl up. Yeah, that paints a picture. Comfortable, maybe under a blanket, just lost in a story. Intentional disconnection.
Exactly. And then there's the more modern version, TV and movies at home. The weekend is prime time to catch up on your streaming shows.
Ah, and that leads to binge watching.
Yes, the very specific term for watching episode after episode, often for hours on end.
Guilty as charged. I remember starting one show Saturday night and suddenly realizing the sun was coming up. That's commitment.
It happens. But hey,
Wow.
It's cheaper than the cinema. You can pause whenever you want for snacks from your own kitchen. And critically, you can wear pajamas.
My ultimate freedom.
Yeah,
But staying in isn't just passive, is it? People get active too.
for sure. It's often about creative pursuits. Maybe cooking a really nice complex meal, trying a new recipe that takes time.
Right.
Or baking cakes, cookies, bread.
Or hobbies.
Yeah, hobbies are huge. Playing an instrument like guitar, piano, painting, drawing, knitting, things you do for the love of it, not for money.
Which often happens alongside the less fun but necessary stuff, the chores.
Right. You mentioned cleaning, laundry, grocery shopping. If you have a garden or yard, mowing the lawn is like the classic Saturday morning sound in many places.
The necessary evil.
Kind of. It's about balance, right?
Yep.
You tackle the chores so you don't feel guilty relaxing later. You want to end the weekend feeling rested and prepared for the week.
Okay, we know the activities. Now the social side. Making plans, talking about them. How do we politely initiate an invitation?
Good question. The smart strategy is always to check availability first.
Okay.
So start with something like, are you free on Saturday evening? Simple.
Then if they say yes.
Then you make the suggestion, do you want to see a movie? Or if you want to be a bit more formal, would you like to get dinner with me?
And if you're on the receiving end and you want to accept, enthusiasm helps.
Definitely. Don't just grunt, yes. Could say something like, that sounds like a great idea, or that sounds fun, or I'd love to. Then you figure out the time and place.
Now, declining. We talked about being soft. How do you do that politely?
Yeah, declining can feel awkward. The key is to thank them first, then give a brief, simple reason. Oh, that sounds fun, but I'm afraid I can't. Or, thanks for asking, but I already have other plans.
What about that idiom, it wasn't really my cup of tea?
Ah, yes. Not my cup of tea means it's not the kind of thing I enjoy. It's useful, but use it carefully.
Why carefully?
Well, if you use it too often, you might come across as a bit critical or maybe unadventurous. It's best for rejecting a specific type of activity, not necessarily the person inviting you. Decline too often, and people might just stop asking.
That's a really important point, the social cost of saying no too much. Okay, let's shift to dining out. Going for dinner, especially somewhere nice on a Saturday night, has its own rules.
It really does. Step 1, absolutely crucial for popular places. Make a reservation. You usually call ahead to book a table name, time, number of people.
Okay, then you arrive.
You check in with the host or hostess. They manage the seating. Once you're at the table, listen carefully for the specials.
Specials.
Yeah, dishes that aren't on the regular printed menu. Often they're the freshest things, seasonal, or maybe something the chef is trying out. Always worth hearing about.
Good tip. And the menu itself has a structure.
Generally, yes. You'll usually see appetizers, small dishes to start. Then the main course, or sometimes called the entree, which is the biggest part of the meal. And then if you have room, desserts, the sweet stuff at the end.
And when it's all over, the bill or the check.
Right. You ask the server for the bill or check. And if you're the friends, it's super common to split the cost.
How do you ask for that?
Just politely say, could we split this, please? Or can we get separate checks? It means each person pays for what they had, or you divide the total equally. It's normal, but sometimes needs a quick chat about how exactly to divide it.
And then tipping. This is a big one, especially in the US.
Absolutely critical in sit-down restaurants in the States and some other places. Tipping isn't really optional. It's expected.
What's the standard?
Generally 15% to 20% of the total bill before tax. It's considered part of the server's wage. Not tipping enough can be seen as quite rude or ignorant of the local custom.
Okay, important cultural note there. So you've had the meal, paid the bill, maybe you saw that movie, the final skill, talking about it afterwards. How do you debrief?
The easiest opening is just, so what did you think? Or did you like it?
And if you loved it.
You can talk about the story, the plot, the actors, maybe use a phrase like, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Oh, I like that one. What does it mean?
It means you were super excited, maybe nervous, totally engrossed in what was happening.
Yeah.
Hanging on every moment.
Nice. And if you didn't love it, especially if your friend did.
Diplomacy is key. Use softer language. It wasn't my favorite is safe. Or, it was okay, but I thought the story was a little predictable, or maybe a bit slow. The goal is to share your view without ruining their enjoyment. Connection over criticism.
Okay. All this planning, logistics, the cost, the social navigation, it really highlights why we value these 2 days so much. Which brings us to the big picture, work-life balance.
This is really the heart of it, isn't it? Work-life balance is just about finding that healthy, sustainable relationship between your job and your personal life, family, friends, hobbies, just you.
And the weekend structure, the Saturday-Sunday break, that wasn't an accident, was it?
Not at all. The 5-day work week, 2-day weekend, that was a major achievement, fought for, especially during the Industrial Revolution. It was designed specifically to guarantee time for rest and leisure, to recognize people aren't machines.
And why is that rest so crucial?
Well, primarily it prevents burnout. And burnout isn't just feeling tired. It's that state of complete physical, emotional, mental exhaustion from too much stress for too long. If you don't rest and recover, your performance suffers, your health suffers.
So taking time off isn't lazy. It's actually productive in the long run.
Absolutely. It's an investment in your long-term health, your creativity, your ability to function well. It's also the dedicated time you have to strengthen relationships with family and friends. And importantly, it's time to explore your personal identity, to be more than just your job title.
Doing things for love, not for money, as you said earlier.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
there's a modern challenge, isn't there?
Technology.
Right. Technology is constantly blurring the lines, work email on your phone, instant messaging. It can make you feel like you're always on call.
Yeah, the weekend boundaries just kind of dissolve if you're not careful. You end up checking work stuff when you're supposed to be relaxing.
Which means the solution requires a conscious effort, an active, deliberate choice to protect your personal time.
So setting actual boundaries.
Yes, like making a rule. No checking work email after 6 p.m. Friday.
Okay.
Or leaving the work laptop physically shut and put away until Monday morning. Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But that active enforcement, that boundary setting, it's becoming an essential skill for well-being and, frankly, long-term happiness.
Wow. Okay, this has been a really thorough deep dive. We've covered the basic chat, the activities, the social skills, and the really big why behind it all.
Yeah, a lot to think about. So maybe a final practical tip for you, the listener. First, start small. Focus on connection, not complexity. Master that simple one-sentence answer like, not much, just relaxing, before you try to narrate some epic weekend saga. Confidence comes from ease.
That's great advice. And maybe my final thought is, try to be a genuinely good listener. If you ask someone on Friday about their plans, just make a little mental note. Then on Monday, follow up, ask, hey, how was that hike? Or did you end up trying that new restaurant? It turns basic small talk into a real connection over time.
That's perfect. So the weekend, it's this protected space, really a gift to yourself designed for recovery, for identity. But given that modern challenge, technology always blurring the lines, the question for you is, how will you consciously define and enforce the boundary of your own protected time this weekend? What line will you draw to truly reclaim your leisure? Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've got a great set of materials here, really a kind of handbook for those first crucial 48 hours in an American city. Covers the lot, airport, hotel, even weekend small talk.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just about the what to do, it's the how and why. We're aiming to give you that cultural shortcut.
Right. To get past those, slightly awkward moments, especially things like transport or eating out. The goal is to feel confident quickly.
Become a confident local, fast. That's the idea.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We're diving straight in. Mission. Low stress, first day, which means tackling maybe the highest stress point first, getting off that plane.
Right. Arrival. It feels universal, but the U.S. has its own rhythm. First thing, look up. Signs are your friend. Arrivals, baggage claim, but immigration comes first.
And that interaction, yeah, that's key. Have your stuff ready. Passport, visa if you need one. And this is important, the actual address where you're staying. They really need to know that.
And be ready for the main questions. They're pretty standard, actually. Purpose of your visit. So, tourism, business, visiting family. Be clear.
And the other one.
How long will you be staying? Just straight, honest answers. Keep it simple.
Okay, so you get the stamp, hopefully. Then it's luggage time. Head to baggage claim, find the big screen, match your flight number to the right carousel, that's the belt thing.
Yep. And then the next choice, how do you get out of the airport? Ground transportation.
Follow those signs.
Exactly. And you've basically got three main options. Knowing the pros and cons helps you pick, depending on how tired you are, your budget.
Okay, option one, the classic taxi. Easy to find, there's usually a dedicated taxi stand. It's private, direct your hotel door.
But almost always the priciest, especially if you hit traffic.
Right, option two.
The shuttle bus, that's your budget choice. Much cheaper.
But the catch is?
Speed and privacy. It's shared, stops at multiple hotels, so yeah, it takes longer.
And the third, the sort of modern default.
Ride sharing. Using an app on your phone. Now, this means you need internet right away.
Good point.
Often cheaper than a taxi, yeah. But you have to find their specific pickup spots. Airports usually signpost these pretty well now. The big plus, you often know the fare up front.
Okay, so you've chosen your ride, you get to the hotel. Next step, check in. Straight to the front desk.
Yep. Have your reservation name ready and your passport again.
And the credit card. Now this confuses people, doesn't it? Even if the room's prepaid.
It does, but it's standard practice. It's not usually for the room cost itself again. It's for incidentals.
Like the minibar or room service.
Exactly. Or potential damages. They just need security. It's important to understand why they're asking so you're not, surprised or worried.
Makes sense. And you get the key, usually a plastic card these days.
Right. Don't wave it around frantically. Just hold it steady near the lock. Wait for the green light. Simple.
And once you're finally in that room, those first couple of minutes matter.
Oh, definitely. Drop the bags, unpack just the absolute essentials, toothbrush, maybe.
And connect to the Wi-Fi.
Yes. Get online. Send that quick I'm here, I'm safe message back home. You can almost feel the travel stress melt away at that point.
Okay, settled in. Now it's time to step outside. That first walk, it's not just wandering, is it?
No, it needs a purpose. It's about getting your bearings, learning the street names right around the hotel, figuring out where you actually are.
And the sources suggest a kind of double map strategy here.
Yeah, I like this one. Use your phone map, obviously. That blue dot tells you exactly where you are moment to moment.
But also,
grab a physical paper map from the hotel reception.
Yeah.
Ask them to mark the hotel on it.
Why the paper map? Seems a bit old school.
Because it gives you the big picture. You see how the whole area fits together? Plus, it never runs out of battery.
Huh, good point. And this helps especially if you're in a city with that grid system.
Oh, definitely. Lots of American cities are laid out like that. Straight lines, numbered streets, maybe avenues going the other way. It makes navigation feel really logical.
So a block is just...
The distance from one street crossing to the next, super handy. If someone says it's 5 blocks that way, you know roughly how far it is. Predictable.
But even with a grid, you can still get turned around. What then?
First rule, don't panic. Cities are full of helpful people. Just ask politely. Find a police officer, someone working in a shop or cafe.
And say what?
Something simple. Excuse me, I seem to be a bit lost. Can you help me find street name? Usually works like a charm.
Okay, so you're exploring. Maybe you need a few things. Time for the first errand.
Right, a short trip with a specific goal. And the perfect place for that first errand is often a convenience store.
They're everywhere. And open late. Sometimes 204/7.
Exactly. Super convenient. Good for grabbing snacks. Definitely bottled water. Stay hydrated. It's important when you're walking around a new place.
Maybe basic toiletries you forgot. Simple medicines.
Yep, all that stuff. Then you head to the checkout counter where the cashier is.
Ah, and here comes the surprise.
The sales tax alert. Yes. This gets almost everyone the first time.
I remember thinking the cashier had made a mistake.
Nope. The price you see on the shelf, that's not the final price you pay.
Right. They add the sales tax only at the register at the very end.
Exactly. And it varies by state, even by city sometimes. So just be aware, factor in a little bit extra, avoid that moment of confusion at the till.
Okay, all that navigating builds an appetite. First meal out. The advice is to start casual, right?
Yeah.
A diner, maybe a cafe.
Yeah, keep it simple first time. When you go and look for a sign, usually says something like, please wait to be seated.
Don't just grab any empty table.
Correct. A host or hostess will come over, they'll ask how many, meaning how many people in your group, and then show you to a table. Then your server takes over.
And they usually start with drinks.
Almost always.
Yeah.
Quick tip, tap water is free. You can just ask for water. If you need more time with the menu, just say so. Could I have another minute, please? Totally fine.
And when you're ready to order the food,
Polite phrases work best. I'd like thee, or I'll have thee. Simple.
menus can be structured a bit differently. You got appetizers.
Which are the starters, yeah. Then main courses, sometimes called entrees. That's the main part of the meal. And then desserts, obviously.
And listen out for the specials.
Definitely. The server will often list dishes that aren't on the printed menu. Sometimes the best stuff is on the specials board.
Okay, food ordered, enjoyed. Now we get to the big one, the cultural minefield. Tipping.
Ah, yes. Let's be super clear on this. In the US, tipping in restaurants isn't just like a nice thing to do if the service was amazing.
It's expected, required almost.
It's essentially required. It functions as part of the server's wage. They genuinely rely on those tips for their income. It's a different system than many places.
So the golden number, what's the standard percentage?
The standard is 15% to 20% of the bill before tax.
15 to 20%. Okay, so 15% of service was just okay.
Yeah, 15% is generally seen as the minimum for acceptable service. Going below that sends a pretty strong negative message. If the service was good or great, then 20% is more the norm.
Wow, that's quite high compared to many cultures.
Yeah.
Are there any situations where you don't tip that much or at all?
For full table service in a sit-down restaurant, honestly, no. You really need to budget for that 15-20%. Maybe for simple counter service or takeout, leaving $1 or $2 in a jar is common, but not the full percentage. But for a meal where someone served you at the table, yes, 15% minimum.
Got it. And how do you actually do it? Paying the bill, the check.
Okay, so the server brings the check. If you're eating with friends, it's very common to ask to split the bill. They can usually process separate payments easily.
And paying the tip itself, if you use a card.
The receipt will usually have a line for the tip amount. You write it in, add it to the total, and sign.
And a check.
Just leave the cash for the bill, plus the tip on the table or in the little folder they provide. Nowadays, lots of places have those handheld machines where you can select a tip percentage right on the screen, too.
Okay, one last dining thing. Reservations. Important for popular spots, especially on weekends.
Absolutely. Friday, Saturday nights, popular restaurants get busy. Best to call ahead and book a table.
Key phrases for that.
Something like, "Hi, I'd like to make a reservation for 2 people on Saturday at 7 p.m., please." And they'll probably ask, under what name? Give your name and you're set. All right, let's shift gears to just talking to people, casual conversation. And in the US, the weekend is like the topic for small talk.
Yeah, it's funny how the question changes depending on the day, isn't it? Thursday or Friday, it's all future focused.
What are you doing this weekend? Or got any plans?
Then comes Monday morning.
And bam, it flips to the past. How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? You got to use the right tense.
What if you genuinely have no plans? Is that awkward?
Not at all. Perfectly fine. You can just say, "Oh, not much, just relaxing." Or the classic idiom, "I'm planning to just take it easy."
Signals you're recharging. No need for epic stories.
Exactly. And if you do have plans, how do you phrase that?
Use the present continuous, usually. Even for the future. I'm going to the movies. I am visiting my family.
Simple. Now, what about making plans with someone new? Inviting them.
Keep it low pressure. Light. Are you free on Saturday? Maybe. Or would you like to grab dinner sometime?
Nice and casual. And responding, if you want to say yes.
Sound positive? Yeah, that sounds great. Or I'd love to.
And if you have to say no.
The polite decline. Be nice about it. Thank them first. Then a simple reason. Oh, thanks so much for asking, but I already have plans. No need for long excuses.
Right, avoid making them feel bad. This softness also applies to opinions, right? Like after seeing a movie together.
Oh, yeah. The classic question.
Yeah.
So what did you think? If you didn't like it, tread carefully.
You can't just say that was awful.
Definitely not. You soften it. Use phrases like, it wasn't really my favorite. Or the great idiom, it wasn't really my cup of tea.
Meaning I didn't like it, but in a gentle way. Respects that maybe they loved it.
Good point. Okay, what about hosting? If you invite people over for just a casual hangout.
So hosting means you're providing the space, maybe some food and drink, Hanging out is just spending time together casually.
If you're the host, what are your duties?
Greet people warmly when they arrive. Offer them a drink right away, water, juice, soda, whatever you have. And put out some simple snacks, chips, crackers, nuts. Easy stuff. Keep it relaxed.
And if you're the guest?
Be on time, generally. Maybe bring a small gift for the host, a bottle of wine, some chocolates, just a little thank you. Offer to help clear up afterwards, and always, always thank them for having you over.
Okay, shifting again, let's talk safety. Because feeling secure is fundamental to actually enjoying everything else we've talked about. Number one rule.
Be aware of your surroundings, always.
Yep. Head up, walk with purpose. Try not to look obviously lost or glued to your phone constantly, especially in crowded areas.
And protect your valuables. The advice here is pretty clear.
Very clear. Leave the important stuff, original passport, extra cash, backup cards, locked in the hotel safe.
Carry a photocopy of your passport, or just a photo of it on your phone. Usually enough for ID checks if needed.
And your wallet, your phone.
Front pocket, or a zipped pocket or bag. Not your back pocket. That's just inviting trouble from pickpockets. And the emergency number, just in case.
Crucial one to know. 911. That's for police, fire, ambulance. Universal across the U.S.
Good tip. Have your hotel address written down somewhere easy to grab. If you're stressed calling 911, you might forget it.
Right. Okay, so safety first, but then also take time to just soak it all in, the city's atmosphere.
Yeah, don't just rush from A to B. Find a bench, sit in a cafe window. Use your senses. What do you see? Hear? Smell?
Notice the architecture, maybe, old next to new.
Exactly. The mix is often fascinating. Listen to the sounds, the traffic, the sirens, maybe street music. It's the city's unique pulse.
And cities feel different day versus night, don't they?
Totally. Day's often about business, productivity, movement. Night shifts to entertainment, lights, socializing. Try to experience both.
So this idea of experiencing things, enjoying the city, it connects back to what we discussed earlier about the weekend, doesn't it? And maybe boundaries.
Absolutely. The sources really emphasize the weekend not just as time off, but as necessary for, well, balance, preventing burnout, strengthening relationships.
But the challenge today is technology.
Yeah, that's the modern twist. Smartphones, work, email, they can blur the lines massively. It's easy to feel like you're always on call.
Even when you're supposed to be relaxing or exploring.
Right. So the solution the materials point to is making a conscious effort to set boundaries.
Like we talked about softening opinions for social boundaries.
This is about setting maybe harder boundaries with work. Saying to yourself, okay, I am not checking work email this weekend. Or setting specific times if you absolutely must.
It requires deliberate action to protect that personal time, that mental space.
Exactly. To really be present and enjoy the deep dive you're on, whether it's travel or just your own life. Hashtag outro.
Okay, let's quickly recap the core pillars here for feeling confident in those first 48 hours.
First, master arrival. Documents ready, know your transport options. Second, the big cultural rule, tipping. Understand it's expected, 15-20%.
Third, conversation basics. Weekend talk, expressing opinions gently. And fourth, safety first. Be aware, protect valuables. No 9/11.
Those four give you a really solid foundation.
And we ended on this idea of boundaries, especially around the weekend, protecting it from work creep to maintain mental clarity and connection. The sources stress this needs conscious effort.
It really does.
So the final thought for you, our listener, if that weekend space, that boundary is so vital for focus and connection, what's one specific boundary you could set this week? Maybe related to work, maybe social media, maybe just protecting time to explore.
Yeah.
Something concrete to keep you feeling focused and curious, not just constantly on call.
Something to think about.